Part of what?
Part of this young, exciting team that could be.
It's not a young and exciting team.
Cole Palmer.
Oh, he's a genius. The boy is a genius.
Jadon Sancho.
I said it 10 or so minutes ago that Sancho's decision-making has been spot on.
Joao Felix.
Middle so Joao Felix!
Pedro Neto. Nkunku.
Harry wriggles away from two Bournemouth defenders.
Chelsea have an exciting looking team.
The performance was very good and we show how serious we are.
Despite a shaky start under new management, with the club pushing academy players out to boost their profits.
To sell players from the academy because of the rules, but it's not Chelsea problem, it's all the Premier League club problem.
Banishing players to the bomb squad.
One thing we do know is that they have recruited badly because there are players that they recruited 2 years ago that they're trying to get rid of.
If you've got 40 players, how are they all in one dressing room? How are you putting a training session on?
And some disappointing results.
Chelsea have just got to stop buying players. And players have got to stop signing for Chelsea.
Chelsea fans have some things to be positive about. There is enough quality in this side to play some attractive football and perhaps even win some silverware. So how exactly has Maresca been able to steady the ship? Well, it helps having one of the best players in the league on your team. Besides Erling Haaland, I can't imagine any other player in the Premier League you'd rather have on your team than Cole Palmer.
We'll start with Cole Palmer with those 4 goals before half-time. Enzo Maresca afterwards saying he's the best player in the Premier League. Is he right?
He's not far off.
What a boy.
He's unreal,
What a boy.
What a player.
Honestly, this kid is off the clock.
I know.
40 million we paid for him.
He's absolutely fantastic. I mean, he created history.
The 4 goals against Brighton was just another example of how sensational he is. You could have taken away all of his goals and he still would have been the best player on the pitch. Every time he touches the ball, something positive happens. Just like previous Chelsea legends like Lampard and Hazard, Palmer's the type of player to create something out of nothing. He is a breath of fresh air in a time where it seems that teams play as safe as possible without taking any risks. But for him, the game comes easy. Palmer really was the saving grace for Bowley. The majority of players they signed didn't pan out or they didn't justify their fees, but Palmer was a home run signing. 27 goals and 14 assists, he was truly a superstar for the Blues. Golden Boot runner-up, assist leader runner-up, multiple hat-tricks, Premier League Young Player of the Year. Hopefully this season he doesn't have to carry as hard and have to replicate those numbers. There are other quality players on the team that can help him out. But Palmer is still the face of this team. He is the superstar. He's going to have to play well, and he determines what the ceiling of this squad is. Because if he doesn't perform, the other guys are good, but they're not good enough to carry this Chelsea side into European football again or to compete for trophy. It all really depends on Palmer's form. But Palmer was performing even when Pochettino was there. So what has changed? Well, Chelsea were active in the transfer market again as they tailored the squad to Maresca's liking. Maresca made some bold decisions from the get-go. He made it clear which players fit in his project and which players didn't.
In this moment, they are training apart. As I said already the other day, the situation with both of them is quite clear.
Ben Chilwell, Chalobah, Gallagher, and Sterling were all players that he did not want.
I spoke with Ray before City game. I said that he's going to struggle to get minutes with us.
There are 2 or 3 who are supposedly at home, Raheem Sterling being the main one, who are training away from the whole place. I mean, and he's trying to convince or tell us that he doesn't know what's going on.
Despite the amount of backlash and criticism, it seems so far he has made the right decisions. The Italian was not fond of Raheem Sterling. He was sent out on loan to Arsenal and was replaced by Jadon Sancho. Sancho's time at United completely ruined his image. This is a guy who was one of the most sought after talents in the world in 2021. He was runner-up for the Golden Boy Award, runner-up for the Copa Trophy. He had scored twice in the DFB Pokal final just a few months before joining Manchester United. But after his time at United, he was basically unrecognizable. We will never know what happened with Ten Hag and Sancho, but given how many other players Ten Hag fell out with, like Ronaldo, the Dutch manager seems to be a common ingredient in all of these situations. After all, in the half-season loan Sancho spent at Dortmund, he looked good again. He gave an assist to Marco Reus, scored against Werder Bremen, scored against PSV in the Champions League, and even completed 12 dribbles against PSG. Chelsea saw these performances and realized they could still pick up a talented young winger for a fraction of the price because his hype had gone down. Since joining the club, Sancho has shown, picking up 3 assists in his first 3 games. Not only are the stats impressive, but just from the eye test, it's clear how much Sancho has helped in creating opportunities.
I have to say thank you to all the staff and obviously my teammates.
the first day I came in, they made me feel welcome, and I'm just thankful for them for making me feel this comfortable.
United fans made it seem like Sancho can't beat his man or create chances on his own anymore, but that's proven to be false. On this Chelsea team, he doesn't have to carry the attack. He has plenty of help, which makes it infinitely easier for the Englishman to just play his game. He wasn't the only signing. Joao Felix returns back to Chelsea, this time on a permanent transfer. When he joined the first team in the January of 2023, he actually looked quite good. He looked brilliant on his debut before the red card. In a period where Chelsea looked chaotic and ended up in 12th place, Felix was one of the few players to create moments that made the fans get out of their seats. The issue with Felix has never been his talent, but rather his inconsistency. For example, at Barcelona, he shined against Antwerp, picking up 2 goals and 1 assist. Then he scored in 2 separate matches against his parent club Atletico, but he never built on those performances. Yes, everyone knows that he's a magician on the ball, one of those players that glides past everyone, but he also has a history of only showing up for certain matches. Now, you could make the argument that Barcelona is also an inconsistent club, so maybe it wasn't the best area for him to develop. Felix's track record isn't great, and often the idea of Joao Felix is much better than the actual player, but there are some stuff for Chelsea fans to be really positive about when it comes to his second stint. Felix is only 25 years old. He's not getting any younger, but he's still at an age where he can turn around his form. He was good last time for Chelsea, and now the team around him has even more quality. He is also on lower wages than his first stint. Maresca is a very tactically oriented coach. He can potentially get the best out of Felix by putting him in a specific role and environment where his strengths are better utilized. Pedro Neto on paper is a great signing. He got 3 goals and 11 assists in all competitions for Wolves in the 2024 season. He is a very good creative player, excellent in 1v1 situations, and similar to Felix in that he's a player that can create moments of magic. He even got an assist in 2024 against Chelsea. The problem with Neto is that he is injury prone. He missed large chunks of the 2024 season due to a hamstring injury. Since the 2021 season, Neto has missed a combined 102 matches for Wolves. That's over 500 days spent on the sideline. The other issue with Neto is that he is at his best when he's occupying similar spaces to Cole Palmer. Neto is also a left-footed player that likes to play on the right-hand side and cut in. Now, he can play through the middle or on the left. There is flexibility there. From what I've seen of the Portuguese, he should stick to the right wing if Palmer doesn't play there. That's where he's at his best, where you can see his crossing, his shooting, his ability to create chances. There's no real faults in Neto's game. It'll just be a question of health. Can he stay healthy throughout the season when Chelsea are going to be in so many different competitions? From the owner's perspective, this is a very rare, good signing. He's Premier League proven, he's a good quality player, and he's still young, so he can get even better. Lavia almost feels like a new signing. He was brought for the 2024 season, but he missed the entire season due to injury. Lavia is a really needed player because he's the only actual defensive midfielder. Caicedo and Enzo are more of an 8 rather than a traditional 6. Lavia will help those two push more forward because he'll cover the defensive responsibilities. He was amazing at Southampton, and we've already seen how good he can be for Chelsea. At Southampton, he was the only teenager in top flight to have made more than 50 tackles, while his 7.8 ball recoveries per 90 minute placed him in the top 15 players in the league. Lavia led all Premier League players under 21 in combined tackles, interceptions, and block shots in the 2022-2023 season. He can be the solution to a lot of the midfield issues that Chelsea has been facing. A good physical holding midfielder who can help disrupt the play and provide another layer of protection in front of the back four. He can also help with the build-up. He's good enough on the ball to do that. The hope is that Caicedo and Enzo can now look better as well. They can push forward more, be involved more in the attacking third. Caicedo isn't a traditional 6. He's a box-to-box midfielder, and Enzo is someone who can play both as an 8 and as a number 10. But now there should be no excuses for Enzo. He's been played pretty much everywhere in midfield and hasn't done enough to justify his fee, but hopefully now with someone like Lavia behind him, we can see more from the Argentine. Similar to Lavia, Nkunku almost feels like a new signing too. The Frenchman has not been healthy, so Chelsea fans haven't been able to enjoy how good this guy is. At Leipzig, he was the first player in their club's history to score a hat-trick in the Champions League. In that same year, he won the Bundesliga Player of the Season after getting 20 goals and 13 assists. The next season, he was the joint top goal scorer in the Bundesliga with 16 goals. I hope Maresca doesn't play him too much on the left wing. I know it's an area of Chelsea that's weak, but Nkunku is truly at his best through the middle. Whether it's as a second striker, as a 9 up top, or in a number 10 role, he needs to be going through the middle. In fact, I don't see why he shouldn't be the starting striker over Jackson in certain matches. There's a lot of versatility there. You can play Nkunku up top with Felix, Palmer, and Neto behind him, or you can play Palmer on the right, Neto on the left, Nkunku in the middle. A lot of the skill set of these players do overlap, but you have to keep in mind that Chelsea have to play a lot of games this season. They have European football, there's the Club World Cup qualifiers. They can easily play up to 70 games, so it's good that they have quality everywhere so that they have more depth. Jackson has been immense. He has found his goal-scoring boots again. I don't think anyone has ever doubted his ability. He is tall, fast, and strong. He is always creating chances. The issue with Jackson has just been his consistency. One game he finishes every single chance, and then another, he seems like a completely different player. I still believe another striker would greatly benefit both Jackson and Chelsea as a whole. If Jackson is your rotating striker, then I think you're an elite team. But if he's the main number 9, I think you are lacking the consistency to really compete with other elite teams. Maybe that will change, but for now, when Jackson is on the pitch, you know you will get opportunities to score. Enzo is beginning to figure it out. Guess all he needed was a manager who understands his strengths and builds a team around those strengths. This is a guy that was bought for over 100 mil. He is a World Cup winner, Copa America winner. It's good that he's reminding people what he can do. Caicedo has been better, showing the levels that were expected when he was bought from Brighton. Every team wanted him at that point as their holding midfielder, since his ability was very visible. Everyone thought that him and Enzo would form the best double pivot in the league. It's good to see them actually progressing towards that. Madueke is a good player. He showed it in the match against Wolves. I would say the moment Madueke realizes that he can be a much more selfless player, that's when he's going to elevate to that next level. The one position that Chelsea is stacked in for sure with quality and depth is the right wing spot. It's the one position where Chelsea can rotate as much as they like and they still have a pretty good player on that side. The defense should hopefully be better. Cucurella wasn't the best at Chelsea, but coming off of very good Euros where he was the best left back in the tournament, hopefully that boosts his confidence. Gusto is very good, one of the few signings that Boli and his team got right. Good modern day fullback, very well rounded, can go forward, can defend. He was also a necessity because despite how good Reece James is, he's clearly made of glass. It's not his fault, but he's never available. Colwell and Fofana is a good partnership. You just gotta hope that they stay healthy and play more together to develop an actual rapport. Chelsea fans should be excited, but don't get ahead of yourselves. This is still a work in progress. A young team with a coach who isn't the most experienced. Chelsea will look amazing in some games, then bad in others. But at least, despite the owners doing their best to turn Chelsea into a baseball team, some good players have come out of it. Now imagine if this team had prime Conte. What a player he was. If you love Conte and want to see just how good Chelsea used to look with him in the heart of their midfield, you have to watch this video right here.